Pretty boys and two punch and pretty women buy your crib, like I love your head. You say me some sign, peace, everybody. Welcome to JC Hank. This is Why Me. With my brother Rostafa, coming out to visit us from West Orange. I hear it was a long ass Uber ride, and I heard they overcharged you. Why don't you enlighten us on that?
Well, capitalism is one hell of a drug, and we're all guilty of it in one way or another. So it's
I understand.
It's one journey too much sometimes.
No, I dig it, man. I dig it. And I appreciate you taking the trip out. Man.
Thanks for having me, man.
So let's get into the nitty gritty. You're from West Orange, you were telling me.
Yeah, born and raised.
Tell me a little bit about that.
Born and raised in West Orange. Nothing much really to say these days anymore because West Orange now is kind of quiet, which I kind of like. But
that's what's up.
As when you're growing up, you're looking for the New York City type. Yeah, But I like it just because I'm a Jersey boy. Everybody else talks about the shore, this and that. I'm not a stereotype. I'm just me.
No, I dig that. So how long you been rocking out, man?
Oh God, musically wise, or musical wise, I should say probably, depending on which instrument you talk about, like saxophone. I started out playing sax, in concert band in grade school for about 7 years. Played alto, tenor, and bari. Didn't really become a thing because you can't make a lot of noise where I'm at. And I couldn't really afford to get lessons at the time, especially since the way things were, how it was back then. And then finally I picked up guitar for the first time and really felt, okay, this is me. Yeah, something I can do very subtly or I can do very loud. And actually, one of my biggest heroes, a lot of people may not get this, but it's Richie Havens.
Of course.
Richie Havens is probably one of my favorite, one of the most underrated, I think, musicians based upon influence, because this is a tall, black, dark, handsome brother with an acoustic guitar leading a band. I've never seen anybody do it the way he did it. And, I picked up his style, but I also added my style with that, just because it was one of those moments where I knew that something was clicking and it was working, notwithstanding that I was already an actor before all this, but it gave me some type of hope that maybe I can do it. And then I picked up other instruments along the way: harmonica, mandolin, 6-string banjo, lap steel, percussion a little bit. I would like to really get my electric sitar, because I can only imagine what type of stuff I could do with that.
Wow. And what was your influence as far as genre?
It's funny. It's like, I grew up with the radio. And this is at the time when the radio was still kind of, the thing. And you still cling to the radio, and it didn't feel contrived. It didn't feel limited, even though it was becoming that in the 90s. I grew up with a couple of the stations like Q104.3 in the city. I grew up with... my mom liked the jazz station, 88.3, yeah. And
99.5.
Oh God, yeah. Some of the best.
WBGO, right?
Yeah, a lot of these disc jockeys were just putting on what I was considering what was modern music, but really it was just 20th century music. And I didn't care what time period it came from. I just knew that it was good. And from we can go all the way down the line from, as I said, Richie to Joe Cocker to Aerosmith to Eric Clapton to B.B. King to it was just a whole world. And then I grew up with what we call kids bop music, if you will. I was a big fan still of MTV, even at a young age. But again, things have changed so much to the point where literally you can't appreciate not just the debut of a music video, because everything is just all poof, there it is. And there's really no anticipation with that. So as far as like influences go, everything that I grew up with, because I consider myself a bit of a nostalgic head, things from like the 50s all the way to the present, you could consider influences, but specifically, these days, my iPhone is like my influence when it comes to my iTunes library, because I just have everything.
I dig it. So where do you feel you as an artist fit into this grand scheme of things? You know.
I've been trying to figure that out.
I mean, it's the vein of any artist, I guess.
Yeah. No, I could consider myself in the singer-songwriter category because I don't like to be boxed in, but I also don't want to appear to be like, okay, I'm just a guy with an acoustic guitar or
doing
just
anything,
this, you know what I mean? Because then people just like to box you in and label you saying, okay, that's it. Now let's market him as that. And, you know, I want to be marketed. If anything, if you're listening out there, I could use the help. I like to be known as just somebody who just loves good art and wants to put it out. I mean, again, I love my rap, but unfortunately, I'm not a rapper by any means. I can write, but not like to that extent. Even though I still think that's probably one of the best folk art forms that we have right now. But if used right, not just because it's a beat.
Yeah, definitely.
Drum lines.
Definitely.
But as far as for me, I like to, like I said, singer-songwriter. I love my rock. I love my blues. I like my Americana music. You know what I mean? Which is just all encompassing. And I have a lot of ideas in my head, but it's also a matter of just I don't want to just be the only one to sort of kind of like do it on my own. Especially since I was talking about this with a homie before. You fake it until you make it type thing. But I also want to have some type of authenticity and authority in my work.
Of course.
So. Yeah, this is a song I wrote when I was up in Burlington, Vermont, on vacation a couple years ago. I don't necessarily really try to know necessarily some songs what they're about. I just write them and they just come out the way they do, or try to analyze it. But nonetheless, it's my love, I guess, for my time up there and the people up there. And remember actually the inception of writing it, and it still sounds fresh even to me, to this day when I play it. So.
There's something about a Sherman sunset. The sun's at rest, fiery amber. This is a welling blue, just like you. Just reading on the final chapter. The night comes after, while the moonlight deferred chases the sun. Just reading on the final chapter. Night comes after, while the moonlight deferred chases the sun. Having fun. sun is at rest, fiery ember mixes well in the moon, just like you, just holding on the final chapter. Night comes after, while the moonlight flicker chases the sun. They're having fun. They're having fun. They're having fun. Having fun.
Pretty women by your Facebook like I love your hair. You send me some sign.